We're going to talk Premiership.
Yeah.
Premiership came to an exciting conclusion at the weekend.
Woo.
Well, the regular season.
Yes.
We had a lot of wrappings
we were previewing all the permutations that were going on.
Yeah.
But
we actually missed a trick in terms of there's a complicated and convoluted rule for the last place.
Yes.
Which all comes from the Challenge Cup. Mm-hmm. And it means that Sale Sharks, who finished 7th in the Premiership, will qualify for Europe as semi-finalist in the Challenge Cup if and only if La Rochelle, who are currently 7th in the top 14, make the top 6. Then Sale are in, and if they don't, then they're in. Then La Rochelle are in because they were the finalists. So La Rochelle are safe anyway.
Okay, but they have to get into the top 6 in their domestic competition to help
Sale and screw Montpellier. And also have a run at the top 14, too.
Which they would like.
Yeah, of course.
Having lost their final a few weeks back.
So there was all that Premiership permutations, which left Sale, who did, I think, get the win over Gloucester 40-36. They got a good win, and I think Sale now are going to be in if La Rochelle are in. They finish 7th, but they still have a chance. And the team that got it was Bath with a late winner against Leicester.
Yes, that's
having
right,
been miles behind
Leicester,
in Welford Road,
somehow contriving to not win games still.
So there will be no Bristol despite their best efforts. Well, actually, not their best efforts. They didn't get the bonus point against who were they? Against Newcastle. And that's good.
That's right. Yeah.
So Bristol didn't quite make it.
But a good season. In terms of solid, have managed to stay up absolutely perfectly. And
So I think the 6 teams in it now, obviously we have our top 4, which we're going to talk about now, but the 6 teams in it are Saracens, Exeter, Gloucester, Northampton, Harlequins, who just missed out in that top 4, and Bath, and then maybe Sale, Sale. And so then there we go, and then the two semi-finals we have, which we're going to start with the first one now, Saracens against Gloucester, which is 2 against 3. I don't know why I have it listed first. It must be the first chronologically if I listed it first, but maybe it isn't.
But it is still Sarries taking precedence.
Sarries taking precedence. Saracens Gloucester. It's not the game I wanted. I wanted Gloucester to go back to Santi Park and win again. But that's a good game, and it's tough for Gloucester. It's a tough game
tough for Gloucester. That's my instinct when I see this is like Gloucester are a lovely team. They've made great strides this year. They have a lot of balance to them. They're going to get beaten by Sarries.
They have a kind of attack that's conducive to being shut down by Saracens blitz.
It all goes through Sips. Sips,
when it all goes through one man,
it's easy enough to read and shut down.
The other thing is that what 12 trees does under pressure would scare you at times as well.
There'll be loose plays. Like Gloucester are a little loose. The whole Premiership has a tendency, and it's no bones on to say it, but there's a tendency for there just to be a little bit looser play goes on than in the top flight in Europe, and there's some attacking sets and sequences that are built on 1 or 2 soft little carries around the ruck that end up paying dividends. You win contacts that you're thinking a proper organised disciplined defence will not ship those yards, and then off the shipping of those yards a sweeping backline move happens and materialises in a try. You're thinking great, but Sarries are at a level, and especially when it gets to finals mode, then that's when the teams kind of click into gear, and that just doesn't work, and those chances don't present themselves as much.
What I will say is that I think Thorley, who's just back up, he has to play.
He
has to play. He gets straight in. He should be in the England squad anyway, but he has to play. He has to get in. You got to get him on the ball. That's a danger man for you,
for sure.
And obviously, just a massive game for that back 3 of Ackerman, Creel, and Ben Morgan.
Yeah,
that's just, and even Slater and Mostert again. They're good players. Are they quite test level players? They're all actually just on the fringe. Every one of them. Ed Slater maybe is just a little even further behind on the fringes, but Franco Mostert is on the fringes of that Springbok team. Has been in it, has been out of it. Same could be said for Jaco Creel. Same could be said for Ackerman. Same could be said for Ben Morgan.
It's a bit of a team of misfit internationals.
As opposed, not quite internationals. A lot of them really just high level of club rugby, but not quite at test level.
Looking
against a bunch of test level monsters.
Monsters at test level.
Thinking
of what Sarries bring, and it's like looking at the Munster games as reference for Gloucester, where you're just thinking like Munster are a very limited side, and Gloucester is particularly in the
Munster
Park
game. In the Thomond Park game, Gloucester got a lot off until Cipriani got red carded.
Yeah.
That was a shame.
It was,
but,
it was
one of the shames of the season.
It is actually one of the great slights on this season was that ridiculous call that has since they have backpedaled on it. Like that precedent was adhered to,
set and then not adhered to, exactly.
Set and then removed,
yeah.
Because it was just a mistake, and it ruined that game because Gloucester were, for my money, the better side up to that point. And
but that King's home game was telling.
It was,
yeah.
The King's home game that had Munster fans believing that their attack was stellar, even though it wasn't. It was just a broken Gloucester. But it's like you see that a lot, and then you had the likes of Ben Morgan, who was standing in the 10 channel throwing intercept passes instead of doing his physical work.
Yeah.
Too often they're a bit soft in that area, and Saracens are just never soft in that area. And I want to see ways that Gloucester can win this game, and I just don't see it happening. I just don't. I see them getting some stuff off. I think they're a good enough attacking side to kind of find one or two
it's
tries.
It's like the Glasgow philosophy. It's got to go wide.
Yeah.
It's got to go wide. Saracens aren't quite as wide in their defence as they were. They've gone back to that blitz that worked so well for them. They're not as well resourced in those tram lines.
Yeah.
And that's where you got danger men like Ollie Thorley, who you just got to get the ball to, and you got to keep doing that.
For sure.
If you're Gloucester, it's all about keeping it alive, moving away from the rucks.
That's a high tariff.
They need to think of themselves as the Fijian Sevens team.
Yes.
Just never have a ruck ever.
Yeah.
Stay away from the forwards, keep going, keep it alive. It's all high risk game, and like you could see Saracens shooting it down, but
or
they
pouncing
do
on it.
Or pouncing on
Liam
it.
Williams intercept tries,
or Liam Williams misreading a shoot, and Ollie Thorley's away. Like it's probably their best chance of getting something off.
It is because they're not going to try and match them physically, or if they do, it's not going to happen.
It'll be Herculean if they did. I'd be impressed. Like they're all technical guys. Those guys I named in that team. I feel like they do have a big performance in them.
Yeah.
But it's going to need to be some performance against Saracens. Yeah.
I'm just hoping that that Alex Good is still hanging from his fender or something, and you catching Sarries.
I don't know what the crack
unawares.
with Brad Barrett is either. Is he back or is he we never quite know
whether he's the bionic man anyway. So they're patching him up. They're screwing his arm on, putting some steel plate in his jaw. So he'll be patched up and ready probably to come shooting up and curbing.
The other thing about Saracens, which has always been the thing that's almost impressed me most about Saracens, is what they do when they have the ball. And that's the thing about you're playing against Saracens, you're matching them, you're going toe for toe to them, you're actually getting some plays off. They're not shutting you down as much as you'd hoped, and you've managed to build yourself a little lead coming up to half time, but then all of a sudden they have the ball for a period, and they're so accurate what they do. They flood those channels, and that's really where the back row come into it. They've got to stop them at source. They got to get in Farrell's face. They got to get turnovers. But Saracens, again, it's easy to say they got to do this.
You try and then Alex Good's on the ball.
Exactly. You try and do this, they do that, and that's the whole way they operate. And they have like a completely well-rounded shape that they just are constantly in, and loads of different pictures they can present and loads of different options every time, and they're so good at picking the right one.
Very hard to see Gloucester winning. That being said, it's going to be at the Allianz Arena or Allianz Park, which means it's going to be on the 4G pitch. Both sides are attacking minded. It's going to be high scoring. It's going to be quick.
Nice weather, I think.
Nice weather probably this weekend.
Islands.
So should be a fantastic game. I just think Sarries are going to.
I think it's sort of a Gloucester Ulster, Glasgow Ulster scenario where both sides are good. I actually maybe Gloucester will represent themselves better than Ulster, maybe not. But you would expect something along the lines of 40 something to 20 something. If that's your bookies call. Anyway.
I'm thinking something along those lines. Tries for the boys.
Tries for the boys.
Ultimately a win for Sarries, which is usually a safe enough bet. We're not actually poking any trends by calling that this week.
We do like Sarries a lot, but that said, the double's always a big ask. It always throws up, even when dominant teams have won the Champions Cup and are looking to round up their double in their domestic comp. I know Leinster did it last year, but it often proves trickier than that.
Yeah, you can slip up if the intensity drops off, and you lose that realization. And it's like, oh shit. This team that we beat earlier in the season, they've actually just been training for 6 weeks to beat us, and they have a bunch of extra tape on us.
And that's the thing is, if that Gloucester shows up like with Ben Morgan at his best and Jaco Creel at his best and Ackerman at his best and Franco Mostert at his best. That whole pack starts playing, and then you get Cipriani with a bit of go forward, and then obviously Thorley gets on the ball. Like, if they play really, really well, Saracens are going to have to be on their blow. And if they're on their blow, they probably will be able to deal with it. But if they're not, that's where the danger is.
That's the picture. That's the picture. Is we're relying on Sarries, like I say, Alex Good to be still staggering, still having asking someone to hold his beer before
Brad
he runs
Barrett's
on.
leg falling off.
Yeah, something along those lines. That's the picture that I see.
Or Farrell losing the rag.
That's the picture I see for Glasgow winning. Or not Glasgow, Gloucester winning.
And also, we have that Farrell losing the rag template that happened in the Six Nations.
That's true. It doesn't tend to happen on a sunny day in Allianz Park. That's not ever what happens.
No, he hasn't got Finn Russell doing mad things against him.
He doesn't have Sips doing some mad things.
Sips isn't quite Finn though.
No, but interesting English connotations. Obviously, as we're getting towards this part of the season, the knockout stage of the Premiership, it's all interesting stuff.
The real question is not Cipriani v Farrell. The real question is Cipriani v Ford.
Indeed,
that's the real question.
Bottom of the table. Nearly bottom of the table, Leicester with captain.
No, Ford is Ford. Oh, he's still with Leicester. He's not with Bath.
No,
sorry. Bath is Priestland.
Priestland and Freddie Burns actually. Freddie Burns v George Ford. Another comparable thing. No, you're for my money, you have to put Sips on the bench for England. Like George Ford doesn't do enough.
I agree. He won Premiership Player of the Year, which is in our little other news segment towards the end. But he won Premiership Player of the Year this year, which was a good little political call, but also probably a fair call.
It is a fair call. He's been lighting it up, and from what I've seen from highlights packages, his passing game is on point. And the only times Gloucester lose games, it's not the 10 who's doing it. It's that they're a little soft in the pack, and there's no 10 in the world who can make up that difference a lot of the time when they're faced with just negative contact after negative contact and then loose play and then turnover, try coughed up.
They're going to have to be serious. They're going to have to have to step up in every area.
That being said, I'm saying Sarries play about 15 or so.
We'll see, but probably around that. With something to spare is what I said for Glasgow over Ulster, which covers a lot of bases.
Broad strokes. It probably doesn't box us in as much, but we're going to say Sarries for that. Thanks for watching the Overlap Rugby podcast. If you want to subscribe, there should be a button up here. Don't forget to give us a like and share with your friends, and please leave comments down below. We love the conversation. Thanks.